Hi class, in this video I am going to briefly go over the syllabus as well as provide a course overview of freshman year experience 1996. Basically what this course is, it is a course that is meant to help you make the transition from DACC to NMSU. This is a course for those students that are in the Aggie Pathway plan. So basically, the skills that you learn here will better prepare you to make that transition to NMSU. So the first thing that you want to note is that on our home page we have a link to our syllabus, and then we also have a link to the course orientation, which I will go over in a little bit. But I do want to point out that here we have some contact information. So the first thing you want to note is that I have my email. Now the preferred method of communication is through Canvas inbox. However, if there is ever a time when you are not on Canvas or you cannot access Canvas, you can email me at natalie@nmsu.edu. The other way that you can contact me is by visiting my office hours. I have office hours from Monday through Wednesday from 12 to 2. My office hours will begin on February 1st. And basically, if you click on this Zoom link anytime between Monday and Wednesdays from 12 to 2 p.m., I will be there and I will go ahead and let you in. There is a waiting room, so if you have to wait a few minutes, it's probably because I'm with another student. So just wait for a few minutes and then I'll let you in. But because we are doing everything online, my office hours are also online. However, please keep in mind that if these hours do not work for you, or if these dates do not work for you, you can always go ahead and email me and we can try to schedule another time that works for both of us. If you click here, like let's say on a Sunday night, obviously I'm not going to be online, so I'm only available during those times unless we make an appointment or something like that where I know that you're going to be on. In that case, I will go ahead and open my Zoom, and then you can go ahead and click here to take you to the Zoom link. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the syllabus. If you click on syllabus, you can download the syllabus to your computer. However, if you just click on the magnifying glass, you get to preview the syllabus. So something else to point out in the syllabus is that here we have my phone number, my office phone number, and all of my office phone calls are being forwarded to my cell phone. So if you call this number, it will be forwarded to my cell phone. In the case that I do not answer, please go ahead and leave a voicemail. I typically do not answer phone numbers that I do not recognize, so make sure that you leave a voicemail so that I know who you are. Please let me know what class you are in so that I can go ahead and call you back. So here is some information that you want to go ahead and read on your own. This has to do with the class. Two things I will point out that are pretty important is, one, this class is graded on a satisfactory, unsatisfactory basis, which means that your grade will be an S or a U. So anything from 100 to a 70 is an S, which means satisfactory, and that means that you passed the class. Anything below a 70, 69 to 0, you would get a U. And basically the S and the U, basically what that means is that it does not affect your GPA. However, it does show up on your transcript as not having passed the course. So if you wanted to get rid of that, you would have to take the course again. So just keep that in mind, that even though it doesn't affect your GPA, on your transcript, it does show up as failing a class, which is not something that, a lot of employers or grad schools, if you're planning on applying to one, it doesn't really look that good. So you should try to pass the course and strive for an S. This course is also, I just want to mention, is pretty straightforward. Like I said, it's meant to teach you skills to help you succeed when you transition to NMSU. So a lot of the assignments are fairly simple in the sense that they just require to do things like find information about funding, talk about your plans for the future. So a lot of it is centered on you, and it does require you to think about plans, future, your study skills, your career goals, and things like that. But it's all information that you should know, or information that you should be able to discuss, because it's about you. So like I said, it's pretty straightforward, and hopefully all of you can get an S instead of a U. The other thing I wanted to point out is that this class is completely online, so it is not a hybrid, and it is not a synchronous class. So basically what that means is that we do not have any scheduled meetings. So we don't have any Zoom meetings, we don't have any in-person meetings. Everything is done online. However, if you ever have any questions or you need explanation on something, you can always go ahead and email me, and we can go ahead and set up a Zoom meeting where I explain the material. So here we have the student learning outcomes and other information, which is something that you can go ahead and look at on your own. Here is where the grading scheme is explained. When it comes to classroom management, you want to make sure that you are respectful, especially with the discussions. You want to make sure that you post only things that are relevant to the course, and you want to make sure that you don't provide any information that's too personal or anything that's offensive in the discussions. Here we have the important dates, and then we have our tentative schedule. And then I broke that down into a weekly schedule. So basically, if you look at this schedule, you will see that for the first week, our first 2 assignments are due on Wednesday and a Friday. I should mention that this class is taken by all the Aggie Pathway students. So this class is designed for those students. So every class has a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday due date. All the FYEX 1996, all the assignments are due Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So please don't think that this is my schedule. It is the schedule that we are supposed to follow, because every Aggie Pathway student is supposed to take it. So they all follow the same schedule. They all do the same assignments, just to make sure that they all get the same experience. And as you can see, on Friday, we have 2 assignments. The assignments are fairly simple and should not take you a very, very long time, since this course is a 2-credit course. And then for the week of February 1st, we have this assignment due on Monday, budget your time activity on Wednesday, and then setting goals for class discussion activity due on Friday. I do want to point out that this assignment requires you, the ARC workshop activity requires you to attend a workshop done by the Academic Readiness Center. So those are presented by the Tutoring Center, and they provide these workshops like on random days. I will let you know about the dates under the announcements tab. So make sure that you read the announcements, and also keep in mind that this is not due until April, to give you some time to attend a workshop. The workshops are through Zoom. You do have to register, and then they go ahead and they email you the link. But I know that a lot of people are busy and a lot of people have different schedules, so that is why this is due until April 16th. But it is introduced in February 1st, that in the week of February 1st. That way you guys can plan ahead and try to get that assignment done in time. So pretty straightforward. For example, this week, as you can see, this assignment takes up 2 of the columns. Basically what this means is that you have Monday and Wednesday to work on this assignment, and this assignment is due on Wednesday. And of course you want to go ahead and refer to your syllabus, but you also want to go ahead and refer to your Canvas calendar. So here we have our calendar, which has the due dates. And then if you keep scrolling down, we also have the course summary, which includes the due dates. And the best way to navigate the course is actually by going to modules. So if you go to modules, all of the assignments are in order according to their subject matter. So if you look at our first group of assignments, they have to do with student success skills and strategies. So all of these assignments are in order. So the best way to navigate the course is through modules, because as you can see, everything is in order. So for this first week, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and go over this module, and the assignments that are due this week are at the end of this module. So we have these 3 assignments that are due. So let me just go ahead and talk a little bit about this module. Right now I'll go over the introduction to the course, but as I mentioned before, when it comes to the ARC workshops, I post them under announcements. And announcements is something that I post every Monday, and I basically provide an overview of the course. So I basically just remind you, this is what we're going over this week and this is what is due. I also, whenever they let me know about a workshop, I go ahead and I post it on there. Those, obviously, I don't know when a workshop is coming up because I don't schedule them. So whenever I get the information, I'll post it. So that could be on a Wednesday, that could be on a Friday, whenever. Also, if there's any updates or issues with Canvas or anything like that, I will send an announcement. So it is important that if you don't want to miss any announcements, it's important that you set up your notifications on Canvas. And this page right here tells you how to do so. That way you can get notified whenever I post an announcement. I also provide some information about Zoom because I know that a lot of us are new to Zoom. And I also have a link for Office 365. I don't know if all of you are aware, but because you are an NMSU student, you get free access to Office 365. So you can actually download Office 365 on 5 devices and it's free. So please take advantage of that if you don't have access to Word. Word is actually pretty pricey, so it's definitely good to take advantage of this. It also gives you access to Excel, PowerPoint, and a lot of other software from Microsoft Office. So please make sure that you look into this if you do not have Microsoft Office. Now, if we look over here, I also have an etiquette guide for online courses. So basically what this does, it tells you what is the proper way to communicate online. For example, it tells you to not use caps lock because that implies that you're shouting. So, little things like that we might not think about. It gives you some guidelines on how to communicate in an online course. And then I have this discussion post right here, which is a general help and question forum. It is actually a discussion forum. So basically, if you have any general questions about the course, like if you can't find some information, or you're having trouble with an assignment, or you're just wondering, like for example, when the next workshop is, you can go ahead and post that question here, and I will go ahead and answer it, or somebody else can also jump in and answer your question. So this is for general questions. If you have a specific question that relates to you specifically, then it's better to go ahead and email me through Canvas inbox because a lot of that information is personal. So let's go ahead and go back to the course introduction because I just provided a brief overview of the first module, but the very first part of that module is right here, the course orientation. So let's go ahead and look at that. As you can see, I accessed that module on our homepage. So right here, we have this course navigation video in case you ever have to refer to it again. We have the modes of communication, the student learning outcomes. When it comes to grading, I tend to be a little bit fast sometimes, but I teach 5 other English classes. So as you can imagine, grading essays can take up a lot of time. So sometimes it takes me about 5 to 10 days to get an assignment graded. And a lot of the time I provide feedback and I fill out the rubric. But like I mentioned, our assignments are very simple, so I might not provide a lot of feedback in the actual assignment or in the discussion box because a lot of our assignments are based on your own skills and opinions. So a lot of that stuff cannot really be graded, if that makes sense. So instead of me giving you a lot of feedback, you get full points for completing it. So I'll still provide feedback like great job, but like if I'm asking you about your study skills, well, they are your studying skills. Or if I'm asking you about your budget, well, it is your budget. So as long as you complete it, you get full credit. So there's not a lot of feedback that I can provide in that case. I do offer extra credit, and the extra credit mostly has to do with attending workshops. Now, because you guys already have to attend a workshop for the class, any extra credit for attending workshops would come after you complete that first required workshop that you have to go to for that assignment. So in the case that you decide to go to another workshop, you will receive 5 points extra credit for attending. And here it talks about like writing a summary, but that's from my other classes. This does not pertain to this class. In this class, if you attend, you get 5 points extra credit, and that's it, which is pretty good because that's almost 2 assignments that you can make up by getting extra credit by going to an extra workshop. Here we have the netiquette for online classes, a brief list, and then we have contact information for Canvas in case you're having any trouble. The best people to contact would be Canvas support because they will be the ones that can help you. And then again, I remind you that there is no textbook required for this course, and I let you know the things that you need to go ahead and complete, which is the study skills inventory part 1 and also the introductions and icebreaker activity. And also you also have to complete part 2. And I actually do have our first announcement. So if you click here, I posted like a little introduction video where I explain announcements, and then I also let you know what is due. So as you can see right here, I tell you part 1 and part 2 are due. So this is something to keep in mind. You always want to make sure that you check the weekly announcements just to keep track of what's going on in the course. I hope this video was helpful, and if you have any questions, please let me know, and I look forward to working with all of you this semester.